Hello.
Yes, Lavanya, it's now it's on live.
Yes, yes. Am I audible?
Perfect, perfect. Yes, dear students, YouTube live is started now. Will exactly start by 11 o'clock. Okay. Uh, Still 8 more minutes left. Okay.
Dear students, please log in.
Last 3 more minutes. All the students, please join.
Sir, 11 to 12 lakh both.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Vaibhav. Good morning,
morning, sir.
Lavanya.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Aman.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Dear students, good morning. Okay. A warm welcome to all of you for the Career Sprint 2025, a series program which tries to create an awareness and guidance to you all for the placement preparations. We are absolutely thrilled to have you all here. We are honored to host our accomplished seniors who have successfully navigated the very path you are embarking on. So please join us in extending a hearty welcome to Mr. Vaibhav Singh, who is making a significant contribution at Visa, Miss Lavanya, a valuable asset to Morgan Stanley, and Mr. Aman Kumar Rai, who is creating an impact at Arctic Wolf. So their presence today is a testament to their commitment in giving back and guiding our talented juniors. This guidance session promises to be an invaluable opportunity for you to gain first-hand insights, practical tips, and real-world perspectives from those who have recently cracked the code to campus placements. We believe this experience and advice shared by Mr. Vaibhav, Ms. Lavanya, and Mr. Aman will not only motivate you, but also equip you with the strategies needed to excel in your upcoming placement seasons. So let us give a big round of applause to our successful seniors for taking a time to be with us, and to all of you for taking an initiative towards shaping your future. Let the career sprint begin. So I hand over to Mr. Vaibhav. Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Career Sprint 2025. I am Vaibhav Singh, and as sir mentioned, I am currently being served as an intern at Visa. And with me, I have Aman and Lavanya, who are working at Arctic Wolf and Morgan Stanley, respectively. So the agenda of today's session is to share some tips and insights about how to prepare for the selection process of product-based companies, the current trend in campus placements, etc. So without any further ado, let's get started with the session. So in this section, we are just going to give a preparation guide on how to prepare for product-based companies which are paying high packages. Uh, so moving forward, the main topic comes is a DSA. So it is the most important topic when it comes to placements. And in DSA, most of the candidates get rejected in this round of the uh, company selection process. So DSA is not only about solving problems. Okay. So you need to solve problems in a specific time constraint. So only solving problems is not enough. You need to solve problems in a given time constraint. So one important tip when it comes to DSA, I will give that whenever you are solving any problem, try to solve it with a timer by your side so that you can check how much time you are taking to solve a particular problem. Okay, so in DSA there comes many topics, like, as you know that DSA is very vast subject. So some important topics which you need to uh, by heart, or you need to be very clear about for product based companies, are uh, binary tree, graph, DP, breadth first search, depth first search, arrays, and stacks. So these are some important topics which are asked in the interviews or in the coding round. So if you are good with these topics and you are able to solve easy to medium and some hard problems, then you are good with it. Good with it. So as I know that second year and third year both are joining. So for second year, I know many of you are still stuck in stack, queues, and trees. So don't worry, that's a kind of a difficult topic. You need to get hands-on of it. And by trying and practicing all the questions of these topics, you will get a hand of it. And these topics become base of the further topics like graphs and DP. So if you learn stack and recursion, uh, if your base is clear, then these topics like graphs and DP will be very easy for you. And coming for the third year, I hope your DSA preparation is almost complete, since the placement season is it has been started, as I got to know that Amazon recently came uh, and started their selection process. So from that experience, you can get to know that how important is DSA. As in the first round only, they ask good DSA problems based on trees, graphs, and all. And in interviews as well, I got to know that some of the candidates were asked graph problems and DP problems. So this shows how important is DSA if you are targeting a high package company or a product based company. So coming to programming contests. Okay, so programming contest is also very necessary as it replicates kind of a coding round of a company. So, as you know, many of you guys will be attending a coding rounds of companies, and many of you will be competing with each other. So, programming contest will be a very helpful thing if you do it every day. So, it kinds of replicates the entire scenario of a coding round. Uh, so, as you know that the first round is the most important, and it's the round where most of the candidates gets rejected. As per my experience in like when visa came, so they almost 200 candidates applied for it. And after the first round, which was a DSA round, in which we were given 4 questions and we had to solve it in 70 minutes. So after the first round, they only shortlisted 8 candidates out of 200. So you know how important is the first round, that is the DSA round. So I hope everyone is giving programming contest on Lead Code, Code Chef, or Code Forces anywhere. So that improves your speed and that improves your thinking ability as well. Because when you are trying to solve a DSA problem, you might check or look up what topics it is based on. The particular question is based on which topic. But in programming contest, you don't have the luxury to do that. So while attending programming contest, you need to understand the question and you need to figure out which data structure or which algorithm we need to use to solve that problem. So this is how programming contest helps you, and it also keeps you in a time bound thing. So you have to solve the particular problem in a specific time constraint to get a good rank. So as fast as you solve the problem, you will get a good rank. So this uh, extremely helps in the coding round of the multiple companies. Um, one more one more thing which I wanted to discuss in this programming contest one is I heard I heard and I have seen many of the people cheating in programming contests. Okay. So if you are cheating in programming contests like in LeetCode or CodeChef, you are improving your rating, but you are trying to oversell yourself. Like you don't know that much, but you are trying to oversell, and in the interview, it may backfire you. So while you are attending the interview and in your resume, you have written, I have this much rating and all. And when an interviewer asks a question according to your rating, but you are not able to solve that question, then it creates a negative impact and you are digging a hole for yourself only. So please try to avoid cheating in programming contest and try to give it honestly. I know like your rank will go up and down, your rating will go up and down, but it's nature. You cannot have a straight graph, leaning graph. So that's what I had to share with DSA and contest. Now I will hand over to Lavanya, who will continue about CS fundamentals.
Yeah. So we would be having four CS fundamental subjects which you definitely need to know uh, before going to an interview. That is object-oriented programming, database management system, operating system, and computer networks. So all of these are really important, and it's necessary that you revise them properly before sitting for any interview. And most of these are already part of your curriculum. So I feel second years they already know about object oriented programming, so you can just revise it every often. And for operating system, DBMS and CN, the topics which are covered in college, I think that would be enough. And for third years, I would say, since you would be focusing more on DSA now, I have seen even in my mock interviews that even the mock interviews which I took, like, people are not that good at the fundamentals, so they tend to forget it. So it's necessary that you make at least one short note, and you can just keep revising them oftenly so that you don't forget it. And I'll be discussing some key topics which you must cover in all these four subjects. So talking about the object oriented programming, the key concepts would be the four pillars, which is encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. So often they'll just give you a real life scenario and ask you to design classes using these principles. So it's not just they'll ask you what's encapsulation or what's abstraction. No, they don't do that. So they'll just give you a real based scenario and ask you which principle you can use to design this. So keeping all of this in mind, you must be able to implement the solution which for the question they'll ask. And you must also be aware of the difference between class and object, like very basic, but be very clear about the difference. And also about destructor and constructor in C++, types of inheritance like a single, multiple, multi-level, and hybrid. And also about method overloading and method overriding. So you would be asked to show the difference between overloading and overriding. So you would be asked to like write a simple code to show the difference between both of them. And also you must know about access modifiers, like which are the access modifiers, and how do you use that in a real based scenario. Also about static and non-static members, interfaces, abstract classes, virtual functions in C++, and garbage collection in Java are really, really important. So you must be knowing the function of the finalize keyword, and you must they might ask you like how garbage collection happens in Java, or how it happens in C++. And yeah, one pro tip in object oriented programming is always be ready to give real world examples. So that would be helpful in answering these questions. And next important subject would be database management system. So this would come up especially if you have projects that would have a backend or database component. So some key topics which you must be knowing here are ER model and relational model, all the normalization forms which we have studied in our curriculum. And yeah, one important thing is the SQL queries. So you would be given a database, and you might be asked to write a query. That's also really, really important. So for SQL queries, I think you can practice that in lead code as well. So you will get very good questions regarding SQL queries. So you can just solve that in lead code. So mainly you should focus on the commands like select, join, group by, and other subqueries. One more important topic would be joins. So you'd be asked to explain what's inner join, left join, right join, and transaction and ACID properties. Um, yeah, one more thing would be indexing, like why and how we are using indexing in database management system. And yeah, one more would be the keys. So what's primary key, second, the candidate key, foreign keys. So you must be having some basic idea about all the keys. And I would say one basic idea of why you're choosing SQL over no SQL. If you're implemented a project in SQL, so they might ask you why have you chosen MySQL, or why not MongoDB. So you must understand the trade-offs of SQL versus no SQL. Yeah, that's pretty much an database management system. Next would be the operating systems. So operating systems are very common, especially in product-based company interviews. The key topics here would be like what's process, thread, and all the CPU scheduling algorithms, deadlocks, conditions for deadlock, how do you prevent a deadlock, and a banker's algorithm. Next would be the memory management, like how paging segmentation happens, and virtual memory and page replacement algorithms, disk scheduling, file system. Uh, Another would be the process synchronization, like what's a critical section, what's the difference between semaphores and mutex, and how a system call happens, the user versus kernel mode. So these are some of the topics which you must definitely know in operating system. So for example, they'll ask you how a program runs, so you can just walk them through the process creation, the memory allocation, and how context switching happens. So if you are aware of all these topics, so you'll be able to answer the operating system questions really easy. The last would be the computer network. So since many networking companies are visiting the college, so it's important that you are aware of computer networks. So the key topics here would be the OSI model and TCP model. Like you must be knowing the layer-wise protocols, their functions and roles. Next, it would be the IP addressing and subnetting. So you'd be given some problems regarding the subnet mask and stuff. So what would be the MAC versus IP address? You might get a question on that. Routing, switching, and some protocols like TCP, UDP, DNS, HTTP, HTTPS, firewalls and proxies. Like you must be knowing what a firewall is and what a proxy does. And also about congestion control and flow control, like it would be really helpful in your company, because when you are designing a product or designing anything, so it's very necessary that you handle the back pressure. So it would be good if you know about congestion control and flow control, and very basics of socket programming, I would say, because that also plays an important role in the future. So you must be knowing how to create a socket at least. And you might get question here, like this real based question, like when you type www.google.com into a browser, like what happens. So you must be able to break it down into steps, like first we'll have DNS resolution, and we'd have TCP handshake, HTTP request as such. Yeah, that's pretty much about um computer networks. So some of the tips you can follow in all this CS fundamental subject is that you must understand the concept and not memorize it. So as you will get real based scenario questions, so your understanding would help you guys in answering the questions. And you must use real world examples or analogies to simplify your explanation. And if you're just stuck, like talk through your thought process, that would show reasoning. And in case you don't understand any question, you can just clarify, like you can ask, are you asking for implementation or just a concept. Yeah, mastering CS fundamentals would give you a huge edge in interviews. So make sure you have a checklist of all the important topics, understand the core ideas, and practice explaining them clearly. I know you would be focusing on DSA right now, but it's also important that CS fundamentals are very clear and you have them in your mind so that you don't forget it. Yep, that's pretty much about this. Aman would be taking the next.
Thank you, Lavanya, for giving some insights on the importance of core fundamentals in an interviews. So before we talk about projects, like I want to give some insights about the importance of DSA as it is directly linked with your projects as well. So like DSA is your entry ticket for the interviews. So before clearing the first round, your resume or like the projects won't even be looked at. So now I'm not saying like solve around 500 lead code problems, but what helped some of my friends crack interviews was consistency in the lead code and problem solving and being confident with the data structure, which were more specific, like arrays, strings, recursion, and some of the graph-based problems. So once you get past this round, then so that's when your project will have importance. So for projects, I would say there are two kind of interviews. One is pure CS core, in which DBMS, OS, OOPS, and mix of DSA question will be asked. And the another one is the resume driven. And so the in this type of interviews, projects become the core discussion along with the DSA problems. So in the second type, the entire technical round can revolve around your projects. So that's why you must know the projects inside out. So and mix of like DSA problems as well. So once you clear the first round or the technical round and your resume get shortlisted, the next thing they will focus on your is projects. So suppose if you have like three projects in your resume. So the interviewer might ask which one would you like to discuss about, and which was the most challenging one when you were developing it, and like can you explain the architecture of your project? So you need to showcase your project like a story. So not like a list of technologies. So never start with like suppose you have built a CRUD application. So never start with like you have built using React, Node, or MongoDB. So instead, you can say like I built this to solve a problem that either I or someone was facing the problem. So I will give some example on my own experience that how I had faced my project. Like for an example, I will take one of my project Handy Notes. It's all about like it let the user upload the notes in the image or PDF format, and it uses Apple's framework Vision to extract text from the image and from the notes or image format or PDF format, and uses Gemini API and the beautiful soup to generate the structured question and answer docs. So the final QA question answer document is downloadable for the revision. So like I've started with this project solves the revision problem for student by converting their notes into ready to use question and answer sets using AI. Then I moved to tech stacks like I've used Swift for the front end and back end development, OAuth for authorization, Firebase for the storage, and Gemini API and Beautiful Soup. So once you pitch this kind of stories, be prepared for the some of the questions from the interviewers. If you have like developed or you are talking about DBMS projects, then be ready with the schema design. The interviewer might ask about the schema design, so you have to thorough it with it. And you should know about what authentication and authorization you have been using in your projects, like if you are using JWT or OAuth and how it works. So every small detail and how your data flows in your applications. So that will be important. And if you are like having ML projects, then be ready to explain the algorithm used in your projects and the accuracy metrics of it and model training and testing performances. So in these kind of projects, you might be asked why this ML algorithm you have used, why not other one? So what's the accuracy of it and how did you measure it? So you must know every line of your project like the back of your hand. So that will be more important. So suppose if you have worked in team project, then be clear on your part. So be clear what you have done and what other teammates have done. Even if it wasn't much, then also say what you did confidently. So suppose if you have worked on backend, then just say I handle the backend APIs and database integration. I designed the authentication and authorization
what
flow.
you have done
Even if the
and
rest of
what
was done by
other
your teammates,
teammates.
then also so like you just owe your part confidently. So after that, I would say hosting of your project is very important. So there are quite two green flags in your interviews. One is hosting and one is open source. So you can talk about it in detail. So in hosted project, if you can open your laptop and phone, and if you are allowed for it in an interview, then just open your laptop or phone and just show your application. So that will add a massive advantages during your interviews. For open source contribution, I would say, like, I was a part of one of a program that is Keploy Rain of Code, that was organized by Keploy, which is one of the Google GSOC organization. So I worked on sample apps and fixed their website bugs, and got my peer reviewed and merged. So it shows how you are comfortable with the real world code bases, and how you contributing meaningfully in their code bases. So that will be very much important. So that will show that you are quite comfortable in development part. So, like, that is all about the projects and open sources. Now I will tell about hackathons and its importance in your interviews. So hackathons are like a secret weapon during your interviews, or you can say gold in your interviews. So if you haven't win also, and if you have built something meaningful and like quite impactful in 24 or 36-hour hackathon, so that will be a real proof of your teamwork and how you handle the pressure during the time frame. If you are like, this will be much more important if you are applying for the startups or some of the like product based companies. Like hackathon experience give you a big edge. So that is for the hackathon. Now we will move toward the aptitude and reasoning part. Yeah. So I know, like, everyone hates this part, but aptitude and reasoning round still filter most of the people during screening. Like some of the companies, like TCS, Infosys, and even some of the product based companies include like aptitude and reasoning in their assessment. So for this, just focus on some of the topics like percentage, time distance, some simple equation, puzzles, and pattern detection. So you can get these topics on Geeks for Geeks or interview bit platform. So in addition, I would say our college also provide RS training to practice the aptitude and reasoning. So please don't take it lightly and try to practice everything that they are providing. So so that's all about aptitude and reasoning as well. So the resume building part will be handled by Vaibhav.
Thank you, Aman. Uh, so resume building is another important aspect when it comes to the selection process. So it can be your friend or enemy at the same time. Like, you have to mention the things which you know very confidently, and if you oversell yourself, or if you mention anything like you have not done, but you have mentioned everything and you have over exaggerated yourself, so then that may backfire you. Some important points when it comes to resume building are, like, you have to have these essential points in your resume. So anyone can take a note of it if they want. So the first one comes is education. So you can mention your 10th or 12th education schools and your percentage and your current CGPA of of the college exams. So CGPA is also an important aspect, as many companies have a CGPA cutoff. So in most of the companies, the cutoff is around 7.5 to 8 CGPA, but some companies do have a cutoff of 8.5 CGPA, or some companies have less cutoff, like a 7 CGPA or something. And try not to have any backlogs during your placements, because uh, companies don't allow students who have backlogs in the college exams. So try to study, try to uh, like give importance to college exams as well, as you have to pass and achieve a good CGPA in college exams. So uh, backlogs can be very difficult because as one of my friend who had backlogs, he was not able to sit for placements and he had to clear his backlogs and then only he was allowed to sit in placements. So backlogs is like an important thing that you should avoid. Like it's a thing you should avoid. Second comes the skills, where you need to mention your what programming languages you have learned, like what programming languages you are well aware of and you are confident with. So it's okay to put one programming language. So in my case, I had put only one programming language, that was Java. So if you add multiple, then make sure you know almost everything about that programming language. And in the skills section, you must have tools or frameworks which include the tech stack which you have worked on the projects, like React.js, Express.js or something, or MongoDB. For databases, you can add MongoDB, SQL and all. So these mainly consist of the skill section. And in the experience section, so if you have gone through any summer internship, uh, if you have gone through any summer internship or you have done any open source contribution, so you can add those things of like what you have done in the summer internship, on what project you have worked on, what was your contribution in that project. You can list down all the points in the experience section. And one more important point is, if like try to add metrics as well, because metrics plays an important role. Like if you have optimized something in the existing project, try to add something like uh, the current solution takes 60% less time than the existing one. So try to add any metrics or sort of anything you can add, if you can add. Then comes to the project section. So as Aman explained very well, that how you need to make your project. So it should need to solve a specific problem, or it should be different from others. Like if your project is different from others, the interviewer will dig in deep into your project and will ask and will be very interested in knowing your projects. And you need to know what all things you have contributed in the project, and you need to like get the hold of the entire project, not just what you have done, but you have to understand the entire project which you have worked on. And then comes to the achievements. So in the achievement section, sometimes people add many what you say, like uh, many achievements that are not necessary. So some people add like, I have solved these many problems and I have taken this certificate and all, so which are kind of a Udemy certificate and all. Please don't try to add those in your achievements. Try to add uh, good achievements, like you have went to any hackathons and you have won that hackathon, or you have participated in any coding contest and you got first or second in that coding contest, or while giving any online coding contest like on LeetCode or CodeChef, you get a very good rank under 1000 or 500. So you can add those in your achievement section. But mostly this section, interviewers don't dig up this in this section, but it's okay to add your achievement so that the interviewer will see that, yeah, this guy has performed well in the activities which are held in this college or outside college. Next comes the activity section. This is not important as such, but you can add to showcase the interview that apart from the college and apart from preparing for placements, you have done other activities, like you have you are good in sports and all, and you are taking part in what do you say, event management club. So if you are a part of an event management club, you can share your activities that were hosted by your club. So these are the main things which you should add in your resume. But one thing I would say that don't try to oversell yourself. Saying this again and again. Just try to add the things you are most confident with. Don't try to add anything that you don't know or you are overselling yourself, because in many of the interviews, the interviewer will look at your resume and ask questions based on your resume only. So if you add something extra, then it may backfire you and may affect your performance in the resume. So with this, next comes his interviews. So I'll hand over to Lavanya to take charge from here.
Yeah. Thank you, Vaibhav. So I'll be talking about the interview preparation. So just before going to the interview, it's necessary that you know something about the company, so you can just understand what the company does, so that it would help you connect better during the interview, and it would also show that you're genuinely interested, and helps in answering key questions like you might get questions at the last, like why do you want to work here. So researching about the company would be helpful in answering those questions, so you can know about the domain and industry of the company, and you can just explore their website or some of the key culture and values they follow. And next would be the interview day. So uh, your impression, the first impression would definitely matter in the interview. So your body language, your greeting, and your energy would say a lot just before you get into your answers. So it's necessary that you be confident while answering these questions, and your body language, you must sit upright, and you must maintain a good language in order to have a positive impact on the interviewer. So the next question you would be getting is, tell me about yourself. So this question is almost asked first. So it's like your elevator pitch. So a short summary. So you must be prepared before to answer these questions. Like you can have a structure like the current. You can talk about the current status, like I'm a final year student or third year student at in computer science at so and so university, and you can talk about education and background, and your skill set, like I work mostly with Java or C++, or and so. And you can also include the projects and internship which you have worked on, and your career interests, like why you are here. So you can structure all of this and keep all this prepared before going to an interview. Let it be for about 1 to 2 minutes, and it should be conversational and not like robotic, like you have just memorized it. It shouldn't look like that. And during the interview, you might get technical questions. So the interviewers want to understand how you think, not just if you just know the answer or not. So they're just checking your reasoning and thinking ability. So some of the do's you can follow here is clarify the questions. So ask follow up questions if the question that is given to you is unclear. Like you can ask about the constraints and stuff. And one necessary thing during the interview is that you should think aloud. So you must explain your approach. So say for example you would be given a coding question, so you will just not read it and jump to the coding part. No, that's not how it works. So you must explain what you're thinking, you must explain your intuition and what approach you can follow. So that that's really important, which most of the people would miss in the interview. So I've seen people like just jumping to the coding part as soon as they get the question, so that won't help in any way. So make sure that you convey what you're thinking to the interviewer. And also make sure that you just tell the interviewer the brute force approach first, and then try to optimize it. And you can just explain them with the time complexity, space complexity. And yeah, make sure to handle all the edge cases. Like most of the people would miss the edge cases, and they're just into like coding the main part. So edge cases also play an important role while solving any questions. And one thing which you don't have to do is don't say I do not know. So you can just say I'm not sure, but I'd like to approach it like this. So that would show your reasoning ability. And saying straight away I don't know would definitely not have a good impact. So you can add on to that, like I like to approach it like this. That would be a better answer to that. And you might also have a round where you'll be discussing about your projects. So you must be ready to talk about at least 1 to 2 key projects in detail, as Aman mentioned. You can also use the star method, like situation. You can say briefly about the context of the project, and task, like what was your responsibility in the project, like uh, yeah, the front end or the back end, and what responsibility you took. And the action would be what steps did you take to solve this the particular problem. And you can talk about the result at the end, like what was the outcome. And as Weber mentioned, it's necessary that you include metrics if possible, because that would add a good value in your pitch. And also make sure to include the tech stack used, like the languages, frameworks, tools, and the challenges faced, like technical challenges, coordination, or deadlines, and how you overcame all these challenges. And one thing is, be clear on what you did. Like you must be very clear on the role or contribution of yours in the particular project. So that would highlight your contribution and skills. The you would also be having one HR round. So these questions would basically test your personality, your attitude, and soft skills. So like I've seen people clearing 2 rounds and getting rejected at the last round because of their uh, because they were not good at soft skills. So it's necessary that you develop the soft skills. And you can also prepare for this before in hand. So some of the common questions you will be getting, like tell me about a time you faced a challenge, or describe a time you failed or you made a mistake. As I mentioned at the beginning, like why do you want to join this company, where do you see yourself in 5 years, what your strengths and weaknesses. So these are some of the behavioral questions they would ask you. And you might also get rejected if you are not answering these questions properly. So make sure you have the required soft skills before going to any HR interview. And in this HR interview, it's necessary that you be honest but also positive. So they might put you in a situation where you want to talk something negative about a particular thing, but talking negative about anything wouldn't add any value to your interview. So just try to be as positive as possible. Turn all your failures into learning experiences. And yeah, one thing is, avoid blaming others. Like instead, show initiative. Like don't say that my team was not coordinated. That won't work. So you just have to make sure that you portray in a way such that your failures would be turning into learning experiences. And some of the yeah, one final tip for the interview preparation is that mock interviews with friends, or yeah, even now they have your mentors and mentee program going on. So you can just have the mock interviews that would definitely like create a scenario where would which would replicate the original interviews. So you must also prepare questions to ask the interviewer, like very relevant questions, not any unnecessary questions. Like they would ask you at the end, do you have any questions for us? So make sure you have some relevant questions regarding the company and not any unnecessary question. Yeah, that's pretty much about interviews.
Yeah, so thank you, Lavanya. So now we'll move to the performance-based internships. So like I'll first explain what is this. So basically, suppose you have been selected for the company which will give PPU according to the performance during your internship. So basically, they will judge your performance for the time frame in which they are giving the internship to you. Like suppose you have been selected for a 6 months internship, which is performance-based. So at first they will judge your performance like for the task they are giving. According to that, at last they will decide that they will be giving PPO to you or not. So it's not sure that will you will give you will get a PPO. So like let's be honest, nowadays like companies don't offer full time as much as they used to do before. So like so that's why performance based internships are like go to for them. So like so you are like during your internship you are expected to deliver real work and solve real problems and act like a full-time employee from day one. So companies are doing all of these things because they want to see your work ethic and see your communication collaboration with the team and how do you perform under pressure. So it help them to assess your cultural fit into their company. So like I've experienced all of these things during my internship as I was selected for the like performance based as well. Eventually, I got a full time role after that. So, like there, I have to take the ownership of the projects and build some features and got regular feedback from my mentors and managers. So, so if you get the internship with performance based conversion, then just treat it like a job. Don't treat it like your regular internship. So if you get so in your time frame in which you have been selected, be proactive during your working hours. So, so communicate clearly with your mentor and manager on what task they are assigning and what feature they are like to implement. And deliver and don't fail to deliver your work on time. If you fail, then it will create a negative impact on them. So, uh, so your chances will be downgraded for sure and ask regular questions if you have doubts from your seniors. That will show that you are very much confident and you are too much proactive to work on the particular task. So all of things will make sure that you will get the full-time offer in the companies in which you are working. So yeah, so best of luck for if you are selected for the performance-based internship. Like you have to perform really well in that. Yeah.
Just to add what Aman said, um, just to add what Aman said, so the current market condition is not very good. So as you know that many of the companies will hire for performance-based conversion only. So as you can see, we all three are example of that only. We are also hired as a performance-based conversion internship. So it's very important that you perform well in your internship. Like as you have performed well in the interviews and the coding rounds, it's very important that you perform well in the company as well. And many companies won't take you if you won't perform well. As I've seen in many companies, they took approx hundreds of interns and they have converted only 50 to 60 of them, and rest 40 of them uh, have not got any job and all. So it's getting a performance based company, and one important thing is take backup offers as well, because if you are working in a performance based company, a performance based internship, uh, there might be a chance that you not get converted, because sometimes in these performance based internships headcount also matters. So some companies measure your performance but they don't have enough headcount, so uh, they revoke your full time offer. And So then you have to look for a job somewhere else. So it's better to take a backup offers. So in SIT also many backup offer companies comes for giving backup offers. So you must attend those and try to have at least 1 to 2 backup offers with your main offer. So that's what I want to conclude with that. And I want to thank you, SIT, for giving us this wonderful opportunity to connect with the juniors of of our college.
Yeah. Thank you, Vaibhav. And just looking back to what our Vaibhav, Lavanya, and Aman said. So Vaibhav told that, okay, giving importance to data structure topic is very much required. Okay, so majority of the students will be eliminated in the DSA itself. So how important of, I mean, learning DSA, it says that, okay, so you need to learn DSA, and then programming contest, he also said how important the programming contest, and the one of the important thing he highlighted is while learning, you should never cheat yourself. That is what is happening in the current training programs. So a lot of our students, I mean, not working on their own. So they are just putting the code onto ChatGPT or any other platform, and they're trying to copy and do it. So that indicates that you are cheating yourself, as he rightly mentioned that, okay, it will definitely affect in the interview process. So when you have been asked to explain the piece of code, so you won't be knowing. So I request all the students to work on themselves, okay, and not to copy paste the code. And also he touched upon performance based internships. Okay, so it is rightly said that, okay, so performance based option always depends on how you perform in the internship. Okay, so it's basically, it's a kind of a pre-placement offer. Only thing is, so how really you good are and how much knowledge you are. So take the internships, performance-based internships seriously, and take it as a job and try to produce or try to show off your skills and knowledge over there. So please be prepared onto that. Okay. And really, Lavanya highlighted like how the basic subjects are important. Like she spoke about OOPS, DBMS, operating systems, networking, and also she said that, okay, conceptually, you are not supposed to tell anything over there. So inheritance, polymorphism, or whatever it is. So they are not going to ask you the definitions. So they will give you the scenario. Then you need to implement those scenarios using these concepts. So that is what she wanted to convey about OOPS concepts. And naturally, if you are worked on DBMS projects, so of course you know about the DBMS. What are the importance of, I mean, working on DBMS project? So given a scenario, or if you are into design, so you will be first and foremost, you need to identify entities, relationships, and then reduce it to table designs and all those things, and optimization of the tables as well. So adding to these 4 subjects, what Lavanya has said, so I would like to request the students to consider software engineering subject also as an important subject. Okay, and Aman spoke about, again, he spoke about the importance of DSA, importance of the projects. Okay, so just not participating in projects is not enough. Okay, so you should aware of what the project you have done, what is your contribution, whether you have contributed into the design aspects or whether you have contributed into testing. So you should be aware of, I mean, like what is your role in the project. Okay, and also he has highlighted to participate in the hacker rank and other things. So that will definitely enhance your speed and understanding of the code. And also he has mentioned about aptitude and reasoning. So he specified how important to have aptitude and reasoning, because that is the first and foremost, I mean, the test that you will be writing on particular any company's online tests. So he has also briefed into that aptitude. So whatever the aptitude and reasoning we are doing, so apart from that, you should work on your own and you should practice more and more, keeping the time constraints. And again, Vaibhav spoke about resume building. Okay, so it is one of the aspects where all the students need to give importance to building a resume. So we have seen so many resumes that, okay, it just carries only your education background, your so your know of a programming languages. So you just simply, I know this programming language, I know this program, that programming language, but you never highlight what is your skills, what are your achievements, what are your projects you have done, and all those things, as is rightly mentioned that, okay, so these are the real stuffs that needs to be accommodated in the resume. So whatever that you do participate in hacker rank or lead code, so you can highlight those things into that particular thing. And project plays an important role, because when the interviewer, you go to the interview, so the first and foremost, the interest shown by the interviewer will be on your project. So straight away he will get into the project and he will ask what are your roles and what is the contribution of you into the project. So I really thank, all our senior students who have done well, and they also mentioned that, okay, so having an importance of, having a backup offer. Okay, so since if you have get an internship on performance basis internship, so there might be a possibility that you might get converted. So 50 to 60% of the offers will be converted, and remaining 40% may convert or may not convert. So they have rightly said that, okay, importance of having a backup offer. So there are a lot of mass recruiting companies keep coming, like Accenture, TCS, Cognizant, whatever it is. So try to have all the backup offers offered by the placement department, and take up the, a very good performance-based internship, so that, you will get to know the hands-on with respect to how really the projects work in the industry. So on behalf of training and placement, so I would like to thank Vaibhav, Lavanya, Aman, taking their time out of it. And it was really an insightful session, and hope that, whatever the guidance given by your seniors, you will going to incorporate it. And I thank again Vaibhav, Lavanya, and Aman. So thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
Vaibhav. Thank
Thank
you,
you, sir.
Lavanya. Thank you, Aman. So we will sign it off.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.